it feel to, I mean, that last week probably was rough, like a lot of anxiety. How's it feel to just see the name pop up and see the assignment and get back to thinking about playing the match again?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think we were all anxious on the team. We didn't really want to wait a whole week, to hear our name get called, but it was worth it in the end, and I think we're all excited.
What'd you do this last week to pass the time and not think about it? Because I'm sure
we were practicing every day, getting our lifts in, just trying not to think about it too much. I think Coach did a pretty good job with us, saying just bringing the morale a little bit up, telling us that we're going to make it, and I think we all believed in that also. So, luckily we're in and it turned out well.
How do you feel about the draw, first of all, Missouri State, and just being on the side with Tulsa and some teams that you guys are familiar with?
Yeah, it's gonna be there's gonna be tough matchups in this region. We know Missouri State. We played them last year in some tough conditions. We know Tulsa. We played them. I think it was our first home game here. Mm-hmm. And then I think the top of the region is Georgetown, Providence, teams we know well. So we know, the thing is, we know we can compete with every team, and that's what we're gonna do.
Go ahead.
I guess just, obviously you guys didn't know if you guys would be playing anymore or who you were going to be playing, and now today you hear who your opponent's going to be, and you guys only have a couple days to prepare. Obviously you play them on Thursday, so I guess what's the mentality going in, not having as much time to prepare for this opponent as much as opponents earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think it's part of the sport. You don't always have time to prepare, and that's the beauty of it. You go in and just try to get the job done, But I think our group is ready. We've been practicing the whole week, and I have no doubt our guys are gonna come out and get the job done.
So one more for him.
I guess, Diego, what's it mean to you to help bring this team, this program back to a place that I'm sure you all felt like you belong in the NCAA tournament, just to kind of clear that hurdle and be back in the tournament at the end? How's that feel?
Yeah, I think it's important for Crane soccer to be in the tournament every year. It's such a program. It's a program with rich history, and I think it's where it belongs, and to be part of it after a couple of years of not making the tournament, I think it's special, and it speaks for itself that this group is special also.
Can you just take us through what you were thinking in that moment? You're front and center and head in your hands trying to just wish it into existence. What was going through your mind in that moment when your name popped up?
Obviously super exciting moment for all of us. It's been something me personally I've been working for the last 4 years. For the first time hearing your name in a selection show, it's awesome knowing that you've worked so hard the entire season, especially for the season that we had coming back. Being called up, being able to represent this university on a national stage, it's big, and as Gutierrez said, that's the standard of this program. That's what this program should be every single year, and we're happy that we reached that stage, or the goal that we set ourselves. But it was definitely a big relief, because we all believed in that we were capable of making the NCAA tournament and that we belonged there. But at the end, it's unfortunately not always in your own hand. Mm-hmm. I experienced that my freshman year when we were close, when we won the Big East, but didn't get selected at last minute. So it was even a bigger relief for myself that to see the name pop up today.
What do you think? We probably asked you this a little bit during your guys' run, but what has changed for this team to where you guys have been able to, get the results that you wanted to after the slow start to Big East play?
We found a way to win, to put it short. I would say in the beginning of the season we were hanging in the games, but we didn't quite find a way to finish it up at the end. I had some couple of tough losses, and the group came together. We believed in the game plan, we believed in what we are capable of and the quality that we have within the team. and it showed. We came together. We had a great road trip to the East Coast with UConn and Villanova, and just gained momentum from there and just maintained the momentum until our last game. Even though obviously like the season in the Big East didn't end up as we wished, but I think the guys definitely deserved to play in the national tournament the way they showed up in the last 5 weeks of the season. And we're still trying to keep the momentum going, take it into the national tournament, and make some big waves.
I think with the exception of yourself, actually, both starting 11s from each squad is back from last spring. What do you remember about that match and how it went down and what you're kind of expecting to face coming up here?
I remember it was a windy day, so that was definitely not in our favor. You have to give credit to Missouri State. They're a really, really good team, great program. Lots of smart players, international players, know how to play, very well educated, have lots of speed within the team, very good finishers. So we're super excited for the matchup. We know what we're capable of, we know what they're capable of. I think both sides know each other pretty well. I think we have a pretty good shot.
One more for Paul.
So obviously you guys kind of got your hearts broken in the Big East tournament, but before that you guys ended the regular season on a 4-match winning streak. So I guess how do you guys get back to that momentum that you guys were having and bounce back from the heartbreaker against Villanova?
It's part of soccer. That's why we love the sport so much, right? One day you can be on the highs of the highs, and next day you're the lows of the lows. That's the great thing about our group, that we just stick together, as we've seen through the entire season. That even through the lows, no one is quitting. Everyone sticks with each other. Everyone works with each other, and that's what we've done after the loss against Villanova. Obviously, we know we should have won that game. We would have deserved to win that game, but the great thing for us is that we have another chance now to represent our university at the national level, and that's what we've been working all week for. We stayed prepared. We believe that we'll be in the tournament. That's what happened, and we're excited for our next challenge on Thursday.
All right, thanks, Paul.
It's been a minute since Creighton's kind of experienced that emotion of seeing the name pop up. What did it feel like today? What did you see in your guys, just that raw reaction when the name pops up there for the first time since, I think, 2016?
Well, it was good to see. They deserve it. You know, we've talked all season long about what a rough start we came off to in 21, but they've since worked tremendously hard, and I think they deserve this moment. So for me, I'm just happy to see Creighton, like you said, back in the talks of the NCAA tournament, because these are our standards. I think it's a program with a lot of culture when it comes to NCAA appearances, and this is what we strive to be every year. And I'm just glad that these guys turned the season around and are rewarding themselves for this opportunity.
Yeah, how important is it for, I don't know how you look at it, whether it's year 2, year 3, depending on how you look at the spring, but for the program you're trying to construct here, for you guys to be back in this mix?
You know, again, for me, it's part of our standard. And I think these guys have done a great job to cultivate our Creighton culture and to show our fans and supporters what our standards are, and that's to be part of this conversation in mid-November. And, you know, obviously we're not done yet, and we won't just be happy to be there. We want to go there with intent.
What do you think about the matchup, a familiar opponent, and potentially if you were able to win another familiar opponent? Does that aid at all in the preparation? Because it is a quick turnaround for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously with Missouri State, we were against them in the Valley back in the day. And in fact, I got a note from Leamy and Seaboat, who have been there for quite a while. And so, you know, it'll be fun. It's an old rival that we had in the Valley, and we'll be focusing on them for the next couple of days.
Yeah, in big games this year, you guys have definitely experienced both agony and a lot of victories. Like obviously a big win on the road against Indiana, who was ranked #1 at the time. Big home win here against Providence. But you guys have also, you know, had a lot of heartbreak, like in the Big East tournament against Villanova. So I guess, what's kind of the mindset going into another game that has, you know, a lot of stakes?
You know, I think that's one of the things that goes hand in hand with our sport. The best sport in the world in soccer is that you can be completely dominant, but then end up on the losing end with one mistake or one mental lapse at the back. So I think it's all about execution, right? And I think this team has shown a lot of resilience this season. They've played a lot of matches with their backs against the wall, and so I don't think our demeanor changes. There's a lot to play for moving forward, and I think the guys are excited for this opportunity that they've granted themselves.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're 0-4 in league play, you probably feel like you're in. I mean, I don't know if you guys felt this, but you could take the approach like it's must win every game. I don't know if you felt like you guys were in sort of playoff mode already.
For sure, for sure, especially in a league like the Big East.
Yeah.
You know, the Big East is by far one of the best conferences in the country, and I think it showed that today by putting forward 5 of their institutions into the national tournament. And so, yeah, you know, our backs were against the wall. We understood that if we were going to turn the season around, it was kind of a, win or go home type situation for us in every match. And I thought the guys responded well towards the end of the season.
2 more.
Missouri State's not only tough to beat at home, they're tough to score on at home. Just how challenging of a matchup is this, considering how stout they've been defensively.
Yeah, no, Missouri State's had a very good season. They had a very good season last year as well. So we know we're going into an environment where it's not going to be easy, but we wouldn't want it any other way.
You're prepared for that too.
Absolutely.
That's what the Big East is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, what'd you do with a week to that gap, the week gap?
Well,
Diego said,
let me count the gray hairs over here.
you said you guys practiced.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're saying maybe you didn't sleep well?
Well, in regards to actually, obviously we trained like we were in it, which in my hearts of hearts, I believe that we did enough towards the latter part of the season to get us a bid. But saying that and actually living it are 2 different things. But we did train like we were in. I told the guys last week after the Villanova match that, listen, we're going to prepare for the NCAA tournaments because we're in. And we're going to take it one day at a time and wait for Monday to roll around. And I'm glad Monday has arrived.
What do those training sessions look like? Like, what were you trying to fine tune at this point? 'Cause you guys were playing pretty good soccer that last month of the year. What were your points of emphasis in training this week as you waited to find out your assignment?
Nothing changed, man. We continue to be diligent and sweat the details like we have all season. But there was nothing new or any changes that we made in the way that we were working.
What did you think of the guys' approach to training this week? Did you feel like they had as much belief that they were in as you did?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The guys were diligent. I think they were bought in. I think they understood where we were coming from. And we enjoyed each other's company throughout the week.